After the Supreme Court's decision to reverse the right to an abortion, some pharmacies feared a run on Plan B and other so called morning after pills, so they temporarily limited sales. Those restrictions have started to ease, but that's not the end of concerns about access, as Elsa Hortareas reports from our Washington bureau.
There's plenty of Plan B and other emergency contraceptives available today, but that was not the case last week when pharmacies across the country briefly limited purchases to head off possible panic buying. Panic that advocates call is completely justified.
Think that people are very understandably upset and they're anxious.
Anxious enough to cause a sharp increase in sales of the morning after pill immediately after the Supreme Court ruled on June 24th that there is no longer a right to an abortion in the United States.
It seems that there is a fact that, especially in some areas, that women are getting panicky and are trying to buy emergency contraception.
The purchase limits only lasted a few days, and no experts were ready to fault the pharmacies for their swift response.
I think they rightly were concerned about being able to keep product on the shelf.
Gandil Powers said that the need for emergency contraception could come at any time, even for women who are otherwise careful.
Most people don't think their birth control is going to fail. Most people don't think they're going to be the victim of sexual assault, but it does happen, and having emergency contraception around is really, really helpful.
But Fonteno and others say that just because it's still on store shelves, it doesn't mean everyone who needs Plan B can get it.
For people who live in rural communities, for people who have lower incomes, they may not be able to access emergency contraception and other birth control methods because of these barriers like transportation and cost.
And they worry there may soon be larger challenges.
Politicians and advocates have made it very clear that the next thing they're coming for is birth control.
In the meantime, all major pharmacy chains said they have lifted their limits on emergency contraceptives. In Washington, Elsa Hortareas, Cronkite News.
Advocates worried about contraceptive rights point to Justice Clarence Thomas's writings, echoed by politicians like Arizona GOP Senate candidate Blake Masters, calling for a review of Griswold versus Connecticut, the case that gave married couples the right to contraception.